Big Polly's World of Sports Sims proudly presents the Time Travel League of Baseball. Today's game is from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. It's the Pioneers and the Explorers with similar records. The play date June 9th. It is game 57 for each team. Will White will be facing Gaylord Perry. No, not Walter White, the Bryan Cranston character from Breaking Bad. Could you tell I've been watching that a little bit on Netflix? Okay, here we go, folks. Here is the news. You might remember we had 7 teams within one game of each other the last time we did a Time Travel League game. Now that is 7 teams within 3 games of each other and 9 teams within 4. So it's anybody's race with more than half the season to go. Frank Thomas still leading in terms of the best batting average. Your ER leader is still Eddie Yoss at 158. The home run leader is now just one person, Eddie Matthews of the Wings at 18. Stan Musial still on top on the RBI lead at 54. We have a three-way tie right now in wins with 8. Fergie Jenkins, who plays for the Wings, a traveler. Grover Alexander, and another traveler, Amos Rusi with the Futurists. Saves leaders are still Mariano Rivera and Ron Peranowski with 6, and that has not changed since last week because in the Time Travel League of Baseball, you have a lot of pitchers starting and going the distance. The Ironmen are your top batting team right now at 300. Top ERA team is now the Aces at 438, the 1910s team. And we have a three-way tie on top. The Fielding League, the Wings, the Ironmen, and the Spitfires all very close to each other. So this is the key. All these 12 teams have 28 players from their respective decade, as the Action PC historical set has determined it, and we go with that. And there are 12 travelers on each team, and then there are 5 fringe players that we use to fill in with injuries and whatnot. 40 players are active at any one time. You have 28 era players, and I'm going to change that right in front of you just because I'm a nice guy. And we use traditional baseball rules. We don't use the lightning round extra innings that you see in modern day baseball. But I do use the designated hitter. When I began this project, I randomly drew where the divisions, who would play in each division, two divisions, 6 teams each, 154 game schedule. Each team plays the other 11 teams 14 times. And the way the playoffs will work is the division winners will make the playoffs along with the next 2 best teams. They will be the wild cards. And the best record amongst division winners will play the wild card with the worst record, and then the other divisional winner will play the team with the best wild card winning percentage. And both rounds will be a best of 7. We'll have a finals series after the first round. And hello to you all. Big Polly coming to you on this fine Friday afternoon here in Florida. Well, Friday morning. It's 10:11. It was a little cooler here this morning. It was about 60 degrees as the winter weather has trying to depart us. Okay, everybody, it is now about 48 minutes later. Had an unexpected visitor. That's what the dun-dun-dun you might have heard produced. So, but we're going to get able to get this game done and get it done in about, I think this will take about a half hour. Unless we have a long extra inning game, and you never know when that's going to happen. So we go to Dodger Stadium, as I was saying in the opening tease, for this game between the Pioneers and the Explorers. We still have, this is the 57th game. It's a 154 game season. So after today, if my math is correct, we have 97 games to go. And I play this league off camera the days that I don't do and I just follow the leader, whoever's leading and whoever has the highest run differential. If there is a tie, uh, that's the game that I play, whoever they're playing. Will White is going to be the starter for the Pioneers. By the way, let me just also note that I have determined what the problem was with the Action PC games that I have. What you should do if you're having problems with the windows wrestling with each other for control, we have Guerrero in at DH for the Explorers. What you do is you go into Properties, you right click. If you are on a Windows machine, you right click on properties and you go into compatibility mode and you set it to either Windows 7 or Windows 8, and Google Gemini helped me with that. Google Gemini helps me with a good deal of my problems these days. But anyway, let's get the game started and we'll go through the lineups.
Pitching for Explorers, Gaylord Perry.
It's going to be Gaylord Perry pitching. The lineup for the Pioneers goes as follows. Billy Hamilton, sliding Billy Hamilton, is your center fielder batting first. Hugh Duffy, who was a batting average king back in his day, is only hitting .280. He is in right, batting second. Pie Traynor, weak hitting third baseman at .227. He is third. Gonzalez, Luis Gonzalez of the old Arizona Diamondbacks back in the 90s. He's a traveler. He is in left field. George Van Hultren is your DH. Hasn't seen a lot of action. He's at .305, batting fifth. Orlando Cha-Cha Cepeda, .255. He is batting sixth, another traveler, as is Miguel Tejada at .255, shortstop batting seventh. The second baseman, Carlos Baerga, another traveler from the 90s on this Pioneer team. We have players from the 1890s and the 1990s. I was just thinking about that. Carlos Baerga is batting eighth. Buck Ewing is the catcher. He bats ninth. Your pitcher, Will White, he can go 150 pitches. Defensively for your Explorers, it's Frank Robinson, not Frank Robertson, who used to be a news anchor in Tampa with Fox 13. He is your left fielder. Frank Robinson is. He is a 5, and what is his arm? That is a 6. Mays is a 10 and 10 at center. Kaline playing right field. Had a game recently where he was the DH. He is a 9 and an 8 in right. Machado the 8 in at third. Fregosi is also at 8 at short. Bill Mazeroski, the well-gloved second baseman of the Pittsburgh Pirates, won the 1960 World Series. For the Pirates, he is your second baseman. He is a 10. Norm Cash getting a rare start at first base. He is a 5. Elston Howard at the catching position at 8 and a 5. And Gaylord Perry has a 6 range. 335. Just got to watch whether or not he's going to throw that spitball at some of these players. And some of these players from this Pioneer era used to have to tolerate pitches with a little moisture on them. So Billy Hamilton is leading off, a 306 hitter. OPS at 877. 4 stolen bases. Only 36 at bats. So explains his 4 stolen bases. And that's a walk for Billy Hamilton. It's a night game, although it really doesn't look it with the background screen. 78 degrees, and you have a wind in from right center field at 16 miles per hour. And 1965 Dodger Stadium was very much a pitcher's park. So of Hamilton, a threat to steal, we're going to try for the pickoff. That lowers his steal percentage to 89. We'll try a pitch-out play here. And that gives Hamilton his 5th stolen base. Now, he is a 62% chance of stealing third, so let's try a pickoff again. And remember, we use the traditional rules for the most part, except for the DH. So I'm going to try it again. That's a save. Okay. I'm not going to pitch out again. Perry dealing to Duffy, and that is a strikeout. Perry so far 38 walks and 55 Ks. He's a 3.34 ERA, including the out that he just recorded. That's going to bring up Pie Traynor, the third baseman of the Pittsburgh Pirates, the days of yore. A grounder to first. Cash will step on the bag himself, and there's 2 outs. Luis Gonzalez, hero of the 2001 World Series, giving the Diamondbacks their first and only World Series win to date, is hitting .222. Perry needs an out here to get out of the inning without, and hoping to get away without any more damage. That's a grounder foul down the third base line. And that's a walk to Gonzalez to put runners at the corners for George Van Haltren. 95 at bat, so his sample size a little on the low side. 1 homer, 6 RBI. Hitting .305, and his OPS is .816. Should be at .854. Perry deals. Grounder. Cash is not going to make the play there. He let the ball play him and not play the ball. That is an error, and that's going to score a run without a hit to make it 1-0 Pioneers. Gonzalez now at second. Van Haltren at first for Orlando Cepeda. 255, 8 homers, and 30 RBIs. The pitch to Perry. That is hit well to center field. Mays makes the play at the track. Will White being introduced to the crowd here at Dodger Stadium. .260 on the season. 7 wins, 2 losses. 93 1/3 innings pitched. His whip just a little over where it should be. It's at 1.157 and not 1.085. But you were playing not against the players of your era, but you're playing against some of the best players of all time. So some players are going to rise to that challenge, and some players are going to fall beneath it. Your lineup for the Explorers: Al Kaline in right, batting leadoff. Jim Fergosi at the shortstop position, 186, so you might see him removed for a pinch hitter later. He is hitting second. Frank Robinson, the left fielder, 321, is batting third. Willie Mays, say hey, 262. He is your center fielder batting fourth. Vladimir Guerrero Sr., Vlad the Impaler, 298, is your DH for the Explorers. Norm Cash, 1 for 3 this season, is going to get some at-bats today. He is at first. Manny Machado, a traveler, plays third base. A 251 hitter, bats 7th. Elston Howard is your catcher, 259, batting 8th. And Bill Mazeroski, 243, is your second baseman, batting 9th. Gaylord Perry has gone 21 pitches. He can go 145 today. Your defensive lineup for the Pioneers, and then we can get into the meat of this game. Luis Gonzalez, a 6 and a 5 in left. Billy Hamilton, a 6 and a 4. He's got that noodle arm. He is your center fielder. Hugh Duffy, a 6 and a 5 in right, batting is in right field. He's batting second, but that is for the Pioneers, and we went through that already. Pie Traynor, a 9 at third base. Miguel Tejada, an 8 at short. Carlos Baerga, a 6 at second. Orlando Cepeda, a 6 at first. Buck Ewing, a 7 with a 6 arm, is your catcher, and Will White is a 7 defensively at the pitcher spot. So Kaline leading off. He has 1 stolen base. Good on-base percentage at .395. .301 is his batting average. 4 homers, 14 RBIs. So White will deal. And this is a grounder to Tejada over to Cepeda, out number 1 in the bottom of the first. Let me just double check and make sure we are, yep, in the right place. Sorry, folks. I don't have my OBS controller because I was getting a helicopter sound in my recordings, my earlier recordings this week. So I'm just taking the chance of getting a wrong scene up, but we'll try to get through it. Jim Vergosi, in fact, we'll probably try that again next week. A 186 hitter, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. And that's a K for Will White. That is his first of the day. Frank Robinson, 321. 9 homers, 34 RBIs. His OPS at 958. A grounder to White, and that's gonna be an error. Cepeda could not transfer the ball into his glove, and that's going to allow Frank Robinson to go to second base. Brings up the cleanup hitter in Willie Mays. Now, Willie this year, 262, 12 homers, 37 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, OPS at 833. Grounder, that's going to get passed by Erga. That's going to score Robinson, and both teams have scored in inning number 1. And that's the first hit of the game. And the score is tied 1-1. We've had more errors than hits so far. 2 errors, 1 hit. Vlad Guerrero, who had a 4-homer game earlier in this simulation, a 298 hitter, 8 homers and 21 ribeyes. White will deal to him. Grounder. Trainer is going to throw to first and get Vlad at first. So going to the top of the second, we have a 1-1 tie, and that's going to bring up Miguel Tejada, a 255 hitter, 2 homers, 20 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, an OPS at 717, struck out 28 times, hit lefties well. Against right-handers, he also does well, as you just saw there, with the base hit. That is now the first hit given up by Gaylord, who had a career with multiple major league teams in an era where you didn't really see that all the time. Carlos Baerga, 284, 6 homers and 20 ribbies. OPS at 743. He's got 1 stolen base. A grounder, Mazeroski to Cash, and that's going to induce the first out. Now, Buck Ewing you might see pulled for a pinch hitter later, but the computer will do it. I control the home team. That's usually my won't when I play these Action PC games. He's hitting 179, 2 homers and 13 ribbies. That is going to be popped up for Vergosi and Machado. It's Machado making the grab for out number 2. We go back to the top of the order, and Billy Hamilton, 384 he should be against right-handed pitchers. He's 306 now. First plate appearance today was not an at-bat. The pitch. This is going to be skied. Cash is going to give it chase, but it's a foul ball. 1-1 tie if you just queued up to this point in the stream. A full count, 3-2. Tejada should be moving off of second base. All the lights are lit. 2 outs. Grounder to third. Machado to Cash to retire the side. After an inning and a half, we have a 1-1 tie. Norm Cash with the Detroit Tigers. 1 for 3 this season. Does well against righties. Noticeably better in terms of on-base percentage and slugging. Here is the pitch to him from Will White. And that was collected by White, a throw to first, and you have 1 out. Now for Manny Machado, 251, 5 homers, 19 ribbies. No stolen bases and an OPS of 685. You see it there. Grounded to third, scored 5-3 on your score sheet. 2 outs now for Elston Howard, and Ellie, it's what I often call my cat Ella, is 259, a homer, 10 RBIs, OPS at 607, has struck out 35 times and has only walked 5 times so far this year. Skied behind home plate. Ewing cannot get to it, and the count's 1-2 to Elston, pride of the New York Yankees. Cepeda with that ground ball, he steps on the bag himself, and the side's retired. Top of the third, it's 1-1. Hugh Duffy back up. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far today. This is a grounder to Machado over to Cash. 1 out. Pie Trainer, 0 for 1. And second verse, same as the first, as Machado to Cash on that ground ball for out number 2. Perry is at 42 pitches, having retired 8 hitters. And Gonzalez, a 3-bunter, not really a threat to bunt. Skied, right center, and Kaline and Mays are going to watch that go. A home run for Luis Gonzalez, his 7th of the year. And it's a 2-1 Pioneer lead. Both teams at 32 and 24 coming into today's play. George Van Haltren, 0 for 1. We'll try to follow that up. That's a grounder to Cash. Side retired. After 2.5, it is 2-1. Bill Mazeroski, 243, 4 homers, 26 RBIs, 1 stolen base, an OPS of 617. But he's not there for his bat. He's out there because he is an exemplar for his era second baseman. White deals. Up the middle, a base hit. Mazeroski, not a threat to run, a slow runner. That brings up the top of the order and Al Kaline, who is 0 for 1 so far today. Grounder, that's going to get by Tejada for a base hit. Mazeroski cannot make the turn at second, so it's first and second with nobody out for Jim Fregosi, who is hitting 184. Now, would this be a situation where you would want to bunt? I'm going to say yes. There's the bunt. Cepeda came in and charged. No throw to first, but they get the out at second base. So runners at the corners now for Frank Robinson. This would be a good spot for a squeeze play, but I have already bunted. I'm thinking the Pioneers would be wise to it. So with 1 out, let's see what Robinson can do. And that is hit well to left. Gonzalez is going to be at the track almost. Makes the put out. Mazeroski is going to score from third. And it is tied again. So we've had each team score once in the first and now once in the third. 2-2 tie. Willie Mays, 1 for 1 with a ribeye. That is up the middle, a base hit. Fregosi is going to go to third and get in. Runners at the corners for Vlad the Impaler, who is 0 for 1 today. Half of his home runs in that 4 home run game constitute his total for the season. Here's the pitch. That is a stolen base for Mays, his 7th of the season. So now you have runners at second and third, 1 strike, 2 outs. And they're going to put Guerrero on. A fast runner, but the bases are full of explorers right now for Norm Cash. 0 for 1 so far today. That is a grounder to Cepeda. He's going to step on the bag and quell the rebellion the Explorers had going in the bottom of the third. We go to the 4th with the score tied 2-2. Orlando Cepeda is hitting .254. 0 for 1 now. That is a walk, and that's not how Perry wants to get the inning started. That's walk number 3. Had some control issues in his starts. He's walking 4 batters per 9 innings, when in real life he was only walking 2.6. Also giving up the gopher ball a little bit more, but that goes to the opposition he's facing. Miguel Tejada is 1 for 1. And an out as Cepeda was trying to advance to second, trying to steal second, and Elston Howard got him. 1 out now, and a count 0-1 to Miguel. That's a walk. That is walk number 4 now for Perry, the second this inning. To bring up Carlos Baerga, 282 on the year. As we were mentioning earlier, well, his average might have been a little different when we mentioned it previously. 0 for 1. And that's another out at second base. Howard with 2 assists. Count 0-1. And Baerga lofts this one to right, but Kaline's going to be at the track to retire the side. 3.5 innings gone by, and your score is 2-2. As I record this on April 10th, we got a big game here locally. Well, I'm a little farther away from locally these days. I'm in Lake County. If you go about 100 miles down to the southwest on 75 and then 275, the Tropicana Field has reopened after being shut down for 2025 for Hurricane Milton. And Machado is at the plate and waiting for me to press some buttons here as I look at my phone. Walmart is thanking me for buying cat food. Okay, Machado is 0-1. White is at 39 pitches through 3 innings, so he's on good pace. Grounder to Tejada, over to Cepeda, 1 out. Elston Howard 0-1. A grounder base hit as that gets between Baerga and Cepeda. So he will be at first for Bill Mazeroski, who is 1-1 so far today. White dealing, lofted into the air. That's going to go to Gonzalez. Score that 7 on your score sheet. And we have 2 outs. You got Al Kaline. As we go back to the top of the order for the 3rd time for the Explorers, he is so far today 1-2. Up the middle, a base hit. Howard's going to go for 3rd. There's an error, and that's going to allow him to score. And Kaline moved up to 2nd. That is an error on the throw by Billy Hamilton. 3-2. Pioneers can collect their 2nd error of the day, only in the 4th inning. Jim Fregosi is 0-2. Grounder. Trainer is going to bobble that. Everybody's going to move up. Fregosi at first, Kaline at 3rd for Frank Robinson. And now, a well-timed hit for the Explorers. We're going to give them some separation. White deals. Not to be, as that was by Baerga with the assist to Cash, and the side is retired. And after 4 innings, your score is 3-2. I'm going to get up a moment and just adjust my air conditioning. I'm feeling a little warm, but I was just outside, so yeah. Buck Ewing is 0-1. And that is strike 3 for Perry. That is his 2nd of the day. Billy Hamilton is 0-1. A grounder, well, that was like a bunt right in front of Howard. He makes the play to Cash. With 2 outs now, it's Hugh Duffy up 0-2. Not a home run threat. He's only had 2 in 234 at-bats. Now watch him hit a home run here. Nope, it's a base hit. Just past Fregosi. And Duffy is at first base, and we're going to have to watch him close. We'll do the pitch out here. He would be a tying run. He gets the stolen base despite the pitch out being on. 20 stolen bases now on the year for Hugh, which still makes him a bit of a threat. So Pie Trainer back up at 0-2. Grounder for Gosie's going to make the play. He throws to Cash. Side retired. We're halfway home. It's 3-2 Explorers. Willie Mays back up 2-2 with a ribeye. White deals. And let's see who got to that. It was Trainer who made the play, but the throw is an error. Error number 4 for the Pioneers so far in this game. Which you would expect a team mainly made of 19th century players might make a few more errors than the teams, the Explorers who played in the 1960s. Vladimir Guerrero is 0-1 with Mays at first base. Bit of a mishandle there for Cepeda, but Mays does not advance on what might have been an error had Cepeda not been a little less fortunate. Pitch from Will White, and this is hit well to the left. Gonzalez is at the track and is going to make the play. Mays still your runner at first for Norm Cash, who is 0 for 5. And I'm going to send Mays here because I'm thinking with 4 errors, they might make another one. So let's go. He's safe. That is stolen base number 8 for Mays. That's 2 today. Cash is 1 for 5 on the season. Has not gotten a lot of play. Grounder, base hit to right. Mays will come in. The throw from the outfield is safe. A poor play by Duffy, but not an error. And the Explorers have now scored 1 run in 4 out of 5 innings. It's 4-2. Machado, 0 for 2. Pitch to him is a strikeout. That is now 2 strikeouts for Will White, who is better known as kind of a put the ball in play, make the hitters put the ball in play and hope you get an out. 2 outs now for Elston. 1 for 2 on the day. Cash at first. Grounder to Tejada. Over to Baerga. Side retired. So the Explorers, 1 in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. They lead 4-2. We still have a long way to go and a short time to get there. Luis Gonzalez is 1 for 1. Had the homer earlier, the only homer we've had in the game so far. That's a base hit to right, but right to K-line. I take that back. That was not a base hit. That was a line drive, and K-line caught it at the shoe tops. My mistake. 1 out for George Van Hultren, 0 for 2. Bunt rating a 10, so he's a master bunter. Sky to center, and Mays makes the play there. 2 outs now in the top of the 6th for Orlando Cepeda. 8 homers. Against righties, he's a little bit of a less of a power threat than he is against left-handed pitching. And that's a strikeout for Perry to retire the side. Going into the bottom of the 6th, it's now 4-2. 2-3-4 for the Pioneers. That's an area code somewhere, right? And after 5 innings, 4-7-1 for the Explorers. 4 men left on base for the Pioneers. 7 for the Explorers. Mazeroski back up. He is 1 for 2. A grounder to Tejada. Made a great play over to Cepeda. 6-3 on that put out. Back to the top of the order for the 4th time. And Al Kaline, who is 2 for 3. White at 79 pitches. He's just getting warmed up here, folks. Unless the Pioneers get into some more trouble. Grounder to second by Erga to Cepeda for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Jim Fergosi. 180. Now, I'm going to do a pinch hitter for him because I know I got more shortstops. I got Aparicio. I got Sander Bogarts. I got Marcus Simeon. So I am going to look here. Left-handies. Give me a left-handy hitter. And we're going to go with Billy Williams, the longtime
for Explorers, Billy Williams.
The Chicago Cub great, who I think one season played for Oakland, who have now departed, of course, from Oakland, and they're just playing as the Athletics out of Sacramento until they move to Las Vegas. So they're now the Philadelphia, Kansas City, Oakland, Sacramento, Las Vegas Athletics. Billy Williams comes in 6 for 21, 286, OPS of 977, no stolen bases. Hasn't seen a lot of playing time. Popped up, Ewing's going to get to that. And the side is retired after 6 hits, 4-2. So we have Aparicio, Machado, Bogarts, and Machado is already in the game playing third. And Marcus Simeon, we're going to put Aparicio in with that 10 range, and he'll hit second. Tejada, as you were just seeing, is 1 for 1, walked in the fourth, lined a single between third and second. The deal from Perry is up the middle. No, a great play by Mays. Another one of those catches. That was a line drive, caught at the shoe tops. Mays, of course, made one of the best defensive plays of all time in the 1954 World Series, making that catch, that basket. It was like an over the head catch. I think it was Vic Wertz who hit it at the Polo Grounds, where the Polo Grounds had that very deep center field. So Baerga is 0 for 2 on the day. You see it there. He grounded the second in the second and flied to deep right in the fourth. Base hit to left center, and that was no doubt about that. And Baerga is at first. The tying run will be Buck Ewing. Now, if I were the Pioneers, I'd do a pinch hitter here, because you got 40 players. You got a lot of options. But Ewing is 0 for 2. That's a strikeout for Perry. 4 strikeouts now to go with his 4 walks. Back to the top of the order, and Billy Hamilton, his 4th time up, walked in the first, grounded the third in the second, bunted to the catcher in the 5th. Perry deals. That's a grounder. Machado cannot make the play, so everybody's going to move up a base. Second error for the Explorers. That brings up Hugh Duffy. As you might expect, this team does not hit a lot of home runs. Nobody at double digits yet in terms of home runs, even with the more modern-day hitters. Duffy is 1 for 3. Runners at first and second. That's going to be a base hit. And Baerga will score from second. On the single, it is 4 to 3. Now, Perry is at 112 pitches. I'm going to keep him in for him to face Pie Traynor. That is skied to right center, and Mays will make the play at the warning track. So, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for the Pioneers. It's now a 4 to 3 game. And Frank Robinson is up. He is 0 for 2. Grounded to the pitcher, safe on a throwing error in the first, fly to deep left to score Mazeroski, and grounded to second in the 4th. White at 83 pitches. Probably go 15 if he needed to. That is skied to center for and out, provided he did not give up another run. Will White I'm talking about. Willie Mays is 2 for 3. That's a grounder to Tejada. He throws to Cepeda for out number 2. And Vladimir Guerrero is 0 for 2 with a walk. Intentionally walked in the third. A grounded to third in the first. Flied to very deep left center in the 5th. Hit well to left. Gonzalez going back to the track. He will make the putout. For out number 3. We go to the 8th with your score 4 to 3 in favor of the Explorers. Just double checking. We're at 34 minutes, so I'm rambling a little bit. My apologies. Luis Gonzalez is 1 for 2, a walk, a home run, and an RBI. And that homer came in the 3rd. Might bring in a stopper in the 9th. Let's see how Perry does here. That's a K for Perry to go to 5 Ks on the day. George Van Hultren 0 for 3. 2 ground ball outs. And the first one scored a run in the first run that the Pioneers put up. And he flied to center in inning number 6. Right back to Perry. Over to Cash for out number 2. Orlando Cepeda is 0 for 2. Struck out in the 6th, walked in the 4th, fly to deep center in the 1st. Grounder to Aparicio, who has come in to play shortstop. And the side retired there. No runs for the Pioneers in the 8th. It's 4 to 3. Norm Cash, 1 for 3 on the day. And an error, number 5 for the Pioneers, as Baerga could not make the clean transfer over to Cepeda at first base. I believe that will go against Baerga, but I'm not really seeing an indication. E4, I'm seeing on the bottom right of the play-by-play box that it was an E4. So with a runner at first, you got Manny Machado up, hitting .247. 0 for 3 on the day. That is hit well to left, but Gonzalez is going to watch it go off the wall. Cash is going to come in to score. It's 5-3. Double number 10 for Manny Machado. The Travelers on this team. Brings up Ellie Howard, who is 1 for 3. They're going to give Howard a free pass to first. They're going to stick with White. As only 2 of his 5 runs surrendered have been earned. We'll look at Bill Mazeroski here, 1 for 3 on the day. That is going to be a base hit. That's going to not play another run. Machado given the stop sign at third base. So the base is full of Explorers again for Al Kaline, the leadoff hitter, who hit 3,000 hits plus in his major league career. 2 for 4 today. Base hits coming in the third and fourth innings, the second and third at bats. Mazeroski nearly got picked off at first base by the catcher, Buck Ewing. Count at this point is 1-0. We play in one pitch mode. Up the middle, a great play by Tejada to step on second. But that's going to force in a run from Machado, and it's 6-3. That's going to give the Explorers a little bit of breathing room. With Luis Aparicio up, not a very good hitter, .277 against lefties, .266 against righties, but he's not there for his bat. He's there for his glove. Just 1 at bat so far on the season, and he has scored a run, and he's gotten a stolen base. Skied, short right center field. Duffy makes the play. No throw on Elston Howard. Another run scoring. It is 7-3. Frank Robinson is 0 for 3. Got on at first inning with an error. That's going to be a base hit to Duffy. Kaline is going to make the turn and go to third. Runners at first and third with 2 outs. And Willie Mays has a chance to really put this one away. 2 for 4 with a ribby. Last 2 at-bats have been ground balls. So White at 103 pitches. He has surrendered 3 runs earned. 7 runs total. Skied to center. Hamilton's going to make the play, and the side is retired. So the Pioneers have a little work to do in the ninth. If they want to stay in this game, they're going to need at least 4. 7-3. 3-5-5 for the Pioneers and 7-10-2 for the Explorers. I'm going to stay with Gaylord Perry. I am just looking to see. I might bring in Paranoski if things get a little hairy. But I would need to see at least 2 runners get on for the Pioneers before I made that call. He's had 123 pitches, so there's also the opportunity I might have to pull him because he got tired. Perry is strong, says my pitching coach, so let's go. Tejada is 1 for 2. Skied to right center. Kaline with the play. 2 more outs to get for the Explorers to get the 33rd win of the season. Baerga is 1 for 3. Mazeroski, what a play he made. A web gem. Threw the Cash to get the second out. So now Ewing is the last chance. He's hitting 175, so why do you leave him in? Mazeroski to Cash. Explorers win 7-3.
Final score from Dodger Stadium: Explorers 7, Pioneers 3. Gaylord Perry is the winner. He is now 6-5. Will White is the loser. He is now 7-3. Luis Gonzalez hit home run number 7 on the season. Time of the game: 2 hours, 40 minutes.
Gaylord Perry is your MVP today. So, folks, I hope you enjoyed the game. As Dwayne Stats would say, if you didn't like the outcome, if not the outcome. We will be back some point next week with our game from June 16th. There is no All-Star game. Maybe there should be. But I didn't put one in the schedule, and these games go every day, no off days. So this will end on the calendar like mid-September, and then we'll go into our playoffs and probably give them each a 3-day rest in between the regular season ending, the semifinal series, and then a 3-day rest for the World Series. I'm just thinking about that now, so hold me to it, folks. Hope you enjoyed today's game. We will be back with you Monday. I'll take the weekend off and wish you all well. Be working on my projects, other projects, as the weekend progresses. Get college basket. Probably going to do college basketball 75-76. Minnesota and Indiana will probably be our game. As we've already done the other big game, which is UCLA Notre Dame. We did that at Pauley Pavilion. No need to do it again at, I think it was called the Joyce Center in South Bend back then. Well, anyway, folks, it's been fun. Bye-bye for now, everybody. Godspeed and God bless.